Since the middle of 2020, everyone from Goldman Sachs to JP Morgan to Bank of America, they have called this the beginning of a new super cycle and hot listed commodities as their preferred asset class over the next decade. Fast forward 3 years, and it goes without saying that commodity supercycle has shown no signs of slowing down anytime soon. As we enter into the final quarter of the year, 2023 is now firmly on track to be a third consecutive year that has seen a total of 27 commodities, ranging from the metals to the energies to agriculture, tallying up double to triple digit gains, outperforming every other asset class out there. And this could just be the beginning. On Friday, a long list of the world's most powerful Wall Street banks, they raised their price forecast for the year ahead, stating that we are now officially moving into the next phase of the commodity supercycle. Coincidentally, the commodity markets, they recorded a net inflow totaling more than $900 million. That's the biggest inflow into commodities ever recorded in a single week since the second quarter of 2008. This comes as no surprise given that the current macro-driven backdrop that is fueling one of the greatest wealth transfers that we have seen. This is presenting savvy traders with back-to-back money-making opportunities. Traders are now pumping more money into commodities now at one of the fastest paces that we've seen. This is to capitalize on one of the biggest macro themes driving the markets right now: re-accelerating inflation, the global energy shock 2.0, an escalating global food crisis, which is sending agricultural prices skyrocketing to all-time record highs. And just in case that wasn't enough, traders, they're now on the cusp of being gifted with even more money-making opportunities, with growing expectations that central banks around the world, they're done hiking rates, with the possibility of one more hike this year. This cocktail of explosive events, which traders will not want to miss out on, this provides a license to print money and drive market sentiment over the next 90 days. In fact, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America, they've already begun preparing their clients for what they predict could be one of the most lucrative periods of the year. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of these big trading events over this year and you still want to make 2023 your best year yet, you've been granted the ultimate opportunity here. As traders know, there's a very strong correlation between commodities and inflation. When commodity prices accelerate at a red hot pace, so does inflation. With global inflation ticking higher again, it's no surprise that commodities, they have firmly positioned themselves as one of the best performing asset classes of 2023. Energy prices across the board, they've been on a phenomenal run this quarter, breaking records and notching up fresh 2023 highs. Last week, WTI crude oil, that traded as high as $92 a barrel, tallying up a whopping gain of 41% since June. Meanwhile, Brent crude oil, that rocketed back above $95 a barrel to hit fresh 2023 highs. Over the last 3 months, the world's most traded oil benchmarks, they've been racking up stunning gains of over 49% from the 2023 lows. But the real star performer, that was diesel, with prices in the US futures market soaring above $140 a barrel to notch up spectacular gains of more than 75% since the summer. In a research report published on Friday, JP Morgan, they raised its crude oil price target to $150 a barrel, citing capacity shocks, a commodity supercycle, and the global transition away from fossil fuels as three major bullish tailwinds. Over in the USA, gasoline prices, they've been climbing on a back-to-back weekly basis, with the average price of a gallon sitting around $3.88. That's the highest price for this time of year and 60% higher compared to when President Biden entered office in January of 2021. But California tops the list as most expensive state for gasoline, with price exceeding $7 a gallon. Elsewhere in the energy markets, European natural gas prices, they've been on an absolute tear, racking up double-digit gains on a consecutive weekly basis to reach levels not seen since last summer. European natural gas prices, they're currently 6 times higher than they usually are for this time of year, trading at the equivalent of more than $600 a barrel of oil, and we haven't even entered the winter months yet. The unstoppable rally in the global energy prices, that's pulled many other commodities higher, including aluminium, copper, cobalt, nickel, lithium, palladium, platinum, zinc, and uranium, which is currently trading at the highest level since 2011. The higher energy prices go, the more expensive it becomes for companies to mine, produce, and transport essential commodities. That forces production offline and opens the door to a major squeeze in prices ahead. Extraordinary times, they do create extraordinary opportunities. Right now, as traders, we are living in some of the most exciting and rewarding times ever, in history. As we transition through the final 3 months of 2023, we are firmly in one of the most highly lucrative event-driven periods of the year. If you want to successfully navigate this market and capitalize on the huge opportunities ahead to build substantial life-changing wealth, then you need to utilize a research-driven approach. If you know how to connect the dots and position yourself in the right place at the right time, ready to capitalize on the huge money making opportunities that are currently unfolding, then you'll make a fortune and build substantial life changing wealth. Banks, hedge funds, they're making multi billions capitalizing on the week to week macro driven opportunities. And it's not so different for our clients at the Gold and Silver Club. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club are utilizing our proprietary research driven trading approach. They've already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures so far this year, and we still have another 3 months left to go. In fact, all of our clients, they're already fully briefed, prepared, and ready to make the final quarter of the year their biggest and best year yet. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of the biggest trading events so far this year, and you still want to make 2023 your best year ever, then go to jointhegoldandsilverclub.com now to learn how our mentorship program can take your trading to the next level. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. So with that, let's move over to the charts here and we'll talk you through exactly what we look at here as we head into next week. So firstly, in the lead up to last week's FOMC statement, in total on gold, we banked 540 points over 2 trades. On silver, we took the opportunity to bank 92 points in the breakout. Platinum was the real star for us. We had a nice pump into the FOMC statement. Over 2 trades, we booked 850 points. So essentially, we banked 2 gold, 1 silver, and also 2 platinum. Now, on the sell-off that we're starting to see, as we go into the beginning of this week, I do see this as an opportunity to buy back at lower prices. Now, the first thing to look at here is the dollar. So as you mentioned before, we are long the dollar all the way back here at 99.67. We're still staying to that trade for the end of the month. As you know, September, very risk-off month. The dollar historically does very well over the month of September. We've seen, for example, the pound absolutely melt over the month of September so far. It's been similar for the euro as well. Both have been crushed back down towards the lowest levels that we've seen since around February and March of this year. You can see that with the pound breaking all the way back down towards those levels as well. So essentially, I'm looking to stay long the dollar for the remainder of the month here and then look to potentially book profits as we transition into the final quarter of the year once you move into October. So opportunities that I do see at the moment, you've got copper, which is coming back down towards its swing lows. I do like copper at these prices. Is obviously best possible price, but as you see the dollar continue to uptick here, you could see a little bit more pressure on the metals at the start of the week as we finish off the end of quarter profit taking over the course of this week. There are some public holidays around the world as well at the start of this week, but then as we transition towards the end of this week, I'm looking at opportunities here at lower prices to stack further trades on some of these metals. The other position that I talked you through last week as well, we are shorting oil, right? You've seen a nice gap lower off the Sunday open here. In fact, if you actually have a look at this from last week, when just before the FOMC statement, when we started to see pressure on the energies, we had that initial spike higher to the highest levels of 2023 so far. Now we've tanked over about 400 points now. So we are shorting oil. As I mentioned to you previously, this had a nice breakdown, gap lower off the Sunday open. It's limit down at the moment. So I'm liking the look of oil here. That's the trade that is currently working nicely as well. Other markets to keep on your radar, if palladium was to get a break all the way back down towards the swing lows here, again, very interested. Palladium gave us a very quick 500 points the previous week on the breakout that we had from the 1200 zone all the way back towards 1300s. That's a lovely opportunity there that we capitalized on. Platinum as well. So we have sniped in and we've got positions on under $900 per ounce for this market. They're up around 300 points. If for argument's sake platinum was to come back down, retest the swing lows again, yes, I would be interested in getting further exposure here. Silver, when we got into the position, this just absolutely took off. We did that live during one of our live trading rooms. We got in at 22.65. That trade had a nice breakout last week. It looks like silver at the moment is leading. Gold as well, we're in from lower on this market, but if we were to get a retest back down towards the 1900s or lower, I would also be interested in an opportunity here as well. So as I mentioned, we remain long the dollar. The dollar's very close to breaking back above the 105.40 zone at the moment. If that does rip higher, it will put more pressure on some of these commodities at the start of the week. Again, we're selling oil, which is working out quite well at the moment. Just take, for example, a look at heating oil. That is starting to break down. It's the same on gasoline. That's had a big sell-off over the last week here as well, which is leading crude oil lower too. And then copper is the final one I just put on your radar here. I do like copper if it comes back down for a retest of the swing lows. It may not bottom just yet, but I would expect by the end of this quarter, by the end of the month, that copper prices, they'll start being at levels that are much more attractive. And whatever long-term goal you're looking to achieve through trading, whether that's to create a full-time income, a second or replacement income, or just to earn a better return on your savings, now is the time to take action to give yourself the gift of a better 2023. If you want to maximize your money-making potential and thrive, not just survive, in these fast-moving markets, you need to adapt your strategy to the current market conditions. Most importantly, utilize a professional, research-driven approach. One of the biggest obstacles that holds back 99% of retail traders from achieving their desired success, it's not having access to the correct professional strategies, institutional level data, and market intelligence to make confident decisions with accuracy and certainty. There's a huge gap between the top 1% of professional traders and the bottom 99% of misguided retail traders who simply rely on outdated technical analysis and gimmicky technical indicators that don't work in these markets. If you want to get yourself out of the bottom 99% and into the top 1% who are actually crushing it and making 6, 7, and 8-figure returns in these markets right now, then you need to utilize a professional research-driven approach, or you'll just end up wasting lots of money, time, and effort, and you'll have no results to show for all of your hard work. In these rapidly changing markets, you need to be constantly innovating and evolving. Technical analysis and outdated technical indicators, they won't work. Those days, they're long gone. If that's all you're relying on, then the odds are already stacked up against you. If you want to change your results, then you have to change your thinking. If you want to learn our exclusive research-driven approach that is never taught to retail traders and only reserved for professional traders in the banks, the hedge funds, with access to powerful game-changing insights, including where the banks and hedge funds where they're buying and selling in real time, alongside the key liquidity zones, so you can enter and exit the markets with pinpoint precision, alongside the fundamentals, the macroeconomics, the capital flows, the daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly real-time data-driven cycles and intermarket correlations, then you need to join our mentorship program. As we head into the final 3 months of the year, we are in one of the greatest times of wealth creation the world has seen. If you want to successfully capitalize on the huge money-making opportunities ahead and build significant life-changing wealth, there's no better time than now. If you want to upgrade your income, then you need to upgrade your skills. Never underestimate what you can achieve in the next few months from now with the right guidance and mentorship. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. If you want to join our community of successful traders and take your trading to the next level, there is an opportunity for you to do so. As a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars. You get access to real-time trade ideas, access to institutional research and market intelligence, access to our private Members Academy website, and also support and one-to-one mentoring. For more information, just go to jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description, so just click on the link, make an application, and we will get in touch with you ASAP.